Deeb versus Shida 3. To me, two women that are pillars of the women's division.
Yep.
Easily. Can't argue that at all. And, Crayfish agrees and, kind of echoing what he said. But I think Serena Deeb is not only one of the best wrestlers in the women's division, but on the AEW roster, period.
Agreed.
The stuff that she can do in the ring, the character work, the physicality, the methodical, violent offense, the heel work that she's doing is really probably some of the best heel work in the women's division, period. And which she needs more of a platform for us to be wowed of it. That she's, as JR has talked about it before. I think Deeb is maximizing her minutes, and she's not getting enough of those minutes. And so she's definitely a pillar and top tier talent of the women's division. That being said, Shida as well. I mean, this match started off very hot and violent. It was such a battle. Both women are very physical, which that is a huge draw for me in a women's division match, because I have been a little overly critical on some women's division matches in months and years past of going through the motion, and these two women do not do that ever.
Hell no.
And it was such a battle. This feud is absolutely money in the women's division. It's a shame that it's already coming to a close, because we got a lot of great wrestling out of it. And like I said, Deeb is so good at delivering violent offense, and I loved it, and seeing both, the ex-champ back on TV and in actually a meaningful feud. I'm happy. I was happy to see that.
Yeah, me too, man. I loved the dichotomy of this match. We got to see the mat work and just physical aggressiveness of Serena Deeb, and we got to see the anger of Shida, which I love when she's like that, when she's so mad at Deeb for costing her opportunities. And I think it's that makes it more interesting when you got these people who hate each other, in the storyline, or just have had so many interactions, and interactions that have been costing them gold opportunities. These have been not just backstage promos that they've gotten.
The tournament.
This is a tournament. Yeah, this was something important, and I think that this match tonight, while it's always hard to follow up a big match like we saw with Danielson and Hangman, but I think this match was just as good as their other ones. I think that I liked seeing I love Deeb's mat work. I think her mat work is just so much better than anybody else around. And she's just so talented. And I loved the back and forth. I really didn't know who was going to win this match. It was back and forth consistently. And in reality, seeing Shida win, that's great, because we need Shida to be a bigger player on television. And I think that this is a good way to almost reintroduce her to the TV audience that might not watch Dark and Elevation, where she's been absolutely dominant. So I think that this is going to be something that's going to be big for her, just in general. And I think that Deeb is going to be able to move on to something, hopefully, where she's able to kind of just be that epic heel she's been so far with this feud. This is really her breakout feud as a heel in AEW. So it'll be good to see what she does next. I'm really excited about that.
Who do you want to see go against Shida next?
Man, that's tough. That's really tough, actually. I wouldn't bet against her being in the title picture, frankly. I think that her and Britt could do some really good stuff. I think that, Britt's really kind of always in between feuds, it feels like to me. So I think that they could really, put Shida in the main event quickly. Yeah. I think that would be a good way to bring that back, have her, kind of go, hey, man, like, I got hurt and then I was off TV after I lost my title. Like, I want an opportunity. And I think that beating somebody like Serena Deeb legitimizes that claim. And especially because we've had, like, the ranking system matters, you know what I mean? But I think that having, the winning the 2 out of 3 with Deeb, I think that's a big deal. And I think that could be something that they push after the Ty Conti feud. So
and Scoot, you're saying Jamie Hayter.
I'd like that too. That'd be fun.
Physical another physical performer in Jamie Hayter, which I'm a huge fan of it as well
Yep.
in the ring. Um, but I think it would be interesting because you can even, to me, I think, I know we kind of briefly talk about it here and there, but I still think Jade is going to be winning that TBS title tournament, and Sheeta versus Jade could be a nice
Be fun.
notch, and that can really push Jade to the moon if she beats Sheeta, an ex-champ, the longest champ we've had. And if you start that feud, a Sheeta versus Jade first title defense feud with TBS, I mean, that's competing. I mean, Hangman versus Danielson is really high, but if you did Sheeta versus Jade, I think that instantly
Yeah.
gives her so much more credibility with the title defense, versus like going someone against uh, a quick, I hate to keep using the word squash, but like a quick, a win or something against someone. But
I
if you
mean, it's
put
okay to
Sheeta,
call a spade, you know?
yeah.
Most of
So
Jade's matches have been squash matches, so
so if you have her
there's
go
nothing
through
wrong with that.
Thunder and then you go through potentially the gatekeeper Nyla Rose and then have a title defense against Sheeta, you just created a star.
Yeah. I feel it,
You
man.
created someone in the division that is a pillar,
And different.
and I think Tony Khan sees that in her, and we see that in her, and I think that would be a good transition. So I think I would
I feel it.
uh, to help build up Jade to have Sheeta, essentially go, which would be in a couple weeks. That finals is coming up soon, and switching over to the TBS network soon. So I think that's where I would go with that.
I feel it. I like it. And it's a great idea.